Welcome back, everyone, to the Battle Theater. In Game 2, Cloud9 extended their series lead to 2-0. A quick Game 1. Bit more of a controlled game number 2, but still decisive towards the end. Cloud9 looking on fire to Challenger Mortals tomorrow.
Yeah, we didn't see those huge early game mistakes from Seraph that gave Impact a large lead early on, but Impact took over later on Yasuo. 10 kills, 8 assists. I believe both games he has had the most kills on his team with 18 in 2 games so far.
And it's been looking amazing there for Impact as well. C9, like you mentioned, 1 game away from taking on Immortals tomorrow in their best of 5 for the last North American spot at Worlds. And Envy, if they want to keep that miracle alive to try and push themselves in to what would be an incredible run, they have to reverse sweep, which Cloud9 are familiar with.
Yeah, they were the ones who did it last year, and Cloud9 now, they just want to close it out. They feel like they're taking care of business right now, saying, you know what, we're clearly the better team, and they want to go to Worlds. They made the finals. They were the North American LCS finalists, the second place team, and they want to still go to Worlds because they didn't have championship points from the spring. They made a bunch of changes, like I said previously, and that's what they're doing coming into summer, is building off of that. And
a lot of those changes, I think, looking so positive for the team with how just beautifully this roster has come together. Impact playing like a beast, Jensen and Meteor's playing amazing, and Smoothie, the new guy, playing with his old new buddy Sneaky. They've had some really strong showings as well. So the team looks poised to maybe take down Immortals tomorrow, but they are not done here. They've got 3 chances to take this last game here for Envy and push themselves to tomorrow's final match. I think they only want 1.
Yep, they only want to have to do 1 more game here, make sure they get back home, possibly scrim a little bit early, and have a day that's not completely dragged out, because we've seen very long sets. The 3rd, 4th place match was incredibly long, like 5-6 hours of League of Legends, where the players had to play through that, and now Cloud9 are saying we want this to be quick, swift, want to get back, be energized for tomorrow.
Show up strong, get momentum for tomorrow, and most importantly, rest up as you move into tomorrow's match. But fans are all done here. Civic Karma Blood, Shen Gangplank, nah.
Yep, and this
is
how much they respect Impact, is they're leaving Tom Kench up for Smoothie. I think you first pick that champion, unless you want to take the gamble that NB play it.
I mean, Tom Kench, definitely a strong-looking pick, but maybe the Rek'Sai priority holds true here. We've seen, of all the junglers, I mean, everyone plays Rek'Sai, and he's the first pick here for Cloud9, but it feels so right with Meteos, not just because he loves the champion and he's very strong at it, but it parlays nicely into Jensen, how he likes to play his lanes aggressively.
Yeah, and it also synergized last game with something like Impact on that Yasuo with the knockup. So Rek'Sai just all around seems to be the high priority here. And they may be calling the bluff that Hakuo really wants Braum more than he wants that Tom Kench.
Maybe, because there's the Braum up for Proxen selects it, and Jin once again for Lod with that Sivir band away. It's Jin 3 games in a row now for Lod. Hakuo going to have the Braum here, so we'll see if that makes a big difference. But we know the big Tom Kench lane is the Ashe Tom Kench.
I feel like you pick Ashe Tom.
Sneaky's played it. Seems very obvious here for Cloud9. We'll see if they have the same plan in mind here, or maybe if they want to take something away. And another note on the jungle matchup, I think Meteor's had a great series so far, and Proxen, who's so aggressive and so good at controlling the pace of a game, has been notably absent time and time again. And I think when you take away Rek'Sai from him, he does suffer a bit as well, because his Gragas, it's looked fine, especially on the engage front, but he just can't keep up.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult for him. He's been getting behind. He's given up a lot of deaths early on in the game. We saw him down multiple levels in the Pantheon Lee Sin hover. Flashes back to the quarterfinals where Envy in their game 4 ended up playing those champions. But yeah, taking the Echo for Impact, saying if you have a counter for it, they'd love to know what that is. The Rumble still on the table for Seraph, also the Caston, what he played previously.
Maybe we'll dust off the Yasuo. We saw it from Impact in the last game. Seraph was known for it back in the day. Now it looks like C9 going to delay some of the other 80k pick here because they've seen the Jin already. And where to Envy go with these next few picks? I do like the Zac Hole from Ninja. It's very cute. Teams kind of having some fun with each other here in the draft, but where Envy land on these next few picks will be curious. And they've got so much flexibility between Seraph and Ninja as far as their solo lane picks go, but Envy are a team that do draft their own way.
Yes. And they draft very differently than any other team, and sometimes their drafts don't make sense. The last one did make a whole lot of sense with the pick composition. It was shut down though, and this is good from Proxen. He's been playing the Gragas, but yesterday when he was playing against somebody like Arcsecond and he still wasn't doing too well, I wanted to see him on something like Nidalee or Graves, where you hard farm the jungle, you have a level advantage, and then that's what you turn into actual fights, is the fact that you're stronger than the enemy jungler and you impose your will on them, as opposed to I'm Gragas, I'm a CC bot, and if I get behind, I still have some CC, but I'm super squishy.
Definitely feels like Proxen's been a little out of sorts, and this is much more his speed with the Nidalee jungle. We've got the Kassadin as well, of course, which is a flex pick. I believe Envy have already shown us that they're willing to play at top lane as well, so they'll kind of hold on to their red side flex pick, counter pick advantage with their solo laners, and C9 gonna have to pick a few things blind here, but Ashe feels like the obvious choice for Sneaky. Gonna make it 3 for 3 with the Sivir banned away and the Jhin taken. And maybe Jensen just says, you know what, Talia blind seems just fine here.
Yeah, and Talia, we actually saw it today over in Europe get bullied around by a Kassadin. He just sticks to you. He can dodge all of your seismic shoves. Very hard to get damage onto him during the laning phase. So now this Kassadin could actually go top or mid, and it's completely fine.
Well, there's the Varus again, so I think it's top lane Kassadin into the Echo there for Seraph. With Ninja going to take that poke mage once again, or poke 80 carry once again into that mid lane here on the Varus.
Yeah, so now it's pretty much your front line is Braum, and then you have double AD carry, 2 pokers, 1 mixed damage, 1 is the Nidalee, 1 is the Varus, and then you have another magic damage threat to dive the backline. Cloud9, though, have a lot of protection here for their for Jensen and Sneaky, right? They have that Tom Kench, and this is a big playmaker for Cloud9. They prioritize the champion so heavily, and they called the bluff, too. They said, we could get Tom Kench second round. You're not going to take it because you prioritize Braum over it.
Uh-oh. They swapped and then didn't swap back. Alrighty then.
Okay.
I mean, I assume that's...
I don't know if that's a mistake or not, but okay.
I assume so. That's pretty cool. Mid lane Jhin, maybe? We'll see. Coach is going to shake hands. Miracle looks relatively normal about it. I guess that was the pick.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I was looking at the players like, can I get any information from this? But yeah, it's going to be mid lane Jhin. It's going to be 80 carry Varus for Laud. So once again, Envy, you know, sometimes we don't know what they're doing in Champion Select. This is another one of those games where this is where they're trying to pull out more surprises against Cloud9.
We'll keep the hashtags rolling in. If C9 you think are going to take the sweep, get the C9 win hashtag in there, or the hashtag NV win if you do believe the reverse sweep dream is alive. And it still is now. Only game number 3, Cloud9 looking to sweep the series with their date with Immortals tomorrow. NV looking to play the biggest spoiler perhaps we've ever seen since Cloud9's last Gauntlet run. And upset Cloud9, at least try and force another few games out of them. Maybe help Immortals a bit by tiring them out.
Yeah, and you're getting a lot of information out of them still, like Impact plays Yasuo top, and he's been maybe practicing that a bit. Or what does he default to when you throw 3 top lane bans at him? The Echo seems to be what it is. So the Shen was something that's been banned pretty religiously against Cloud9, and now the Gnar is up there too.
I love that from Proxen. It's just like, yeah, I'm going to keep throwing spears in. See if we can't get some damage done. Jensen, though, moves out of the way of the first one. Proxen's not done. Doesn't really have anything else to do, so might as well. Oh! Jensen has one whistle by him. Now Proxen's going to back. A lot of pings. And Impact and Meteor were looking for a collapse, but Proxen has actually backed away, so doesn't get any free damage onto Jensen, but, you know, maybe sends a message saying, I'm going to be back here. You're going to have to be careful. Smoothie freaking out a bit. Tom Camp, like we said, has been a champion that he's really shown up on pretty much ever since he re-entered the metagame. And this has been the lane that C9 have played a lot of in that late season / playoff run. As I believe you're investigating some of the AD carry situation, because it is pretty cool that we've got Jhin mid and Varus here for Laud.
Yeah, right now they're going to go for an invade though, so Laud and Aqua coming around. They already got the small Krug, and then
surprise!
Sneaky.
Well, they're looking for Sneaky, perhaps. Grass procs there from Smoothie. Sneaky stunned up. Laud wants it again. This is very cute here from Envy, but it might not be enough to get any kills out of it. Haku stuns in onto Smoothie. C9 going to get out of the way. Who's going to get the big Krug? It is no one.
Yeah, they took a lot of Krug damage too. Envy's side, they got the flash out of Sneaky and the heal and the exhaust out of Smoothie, so 3 summoner spells for just that ignite, and a lot of pressure gained from Envy in this bottom lane.
Well, we saw they were able to get a foothold last game, actually, with the Jhin and Morgana. We'll see if they can do it here with the Varus and the Braum.
Now, keep in mind, Sneaky did get the small Krug, so if Envy forget about that for a second, they might put themselves at a disadvantage because Sneaky may get that level 2 first if they get this king. Yeah, and didn't decide to push up actually, so yeah, played it safe.
We saw Jensen also takes 2 of the Little Raptors away as well. Just barely saw the end of that, which he did get punished for the last time he tried it in the finals versus TSM, but Envy a little slow to try and challenge that. So Jensen have a bit of a lead here. And Ninja, he's got the range here to try and poke out the Talia, but if he ever gets caught in a seismic shove, I think he just explodes.
Yeah, pretty much. And I feel like the wave clear of the Jhin compared to what you would have had with the Varus, yeah, you definitely want the Varus there. You want to be able to at least have some pressure in that lane. And now he just gets shoved under turret, whereas Talia is one of the best level 3, level 1 shovers in the game.
Well, maybe Proxen is the difference here. Jungling at a pretty fast pace here. As Meteos claims the bottom side scuttle. Actually going to be here in time to look at the blue.
They don't have Smite, though.
Yeah, no one has Smite, actually, so Meteos going to have to play patient. Proxen is actually respecting potential Prey Seeker snipe here, but we'll just move the Booba buff around and make sure he gets it. Meteos has already left, so no threat there for Proxen. And again, we'll see if on maybe a faster jungler, Proxen can kind of be that aggressive player that's constantly in your face, or in the enemy jungle that we've kind of seen from him all season long, especially when he's at his best.
Yeah. And, oh, hold on.
Yeah, these are the problems. Ninja actually tries to answer back, but Jensen weaves his way out from under that W. And already that early damage on Talia. As soon as that W lands, Jensen able to confirm so much more damage.
Yeah, I feel like just the matchup here is not Jhin favored at all. And I was investigating the AD carries a bit, looking at their runes, but it doesn't tell you anything. They both take Deathfire Touch. They both take Armor Penetration runes, so I was looking if one of them had no attack speed or something. And it intended, but ooh.
Good trade from Seraph. Impact.
This is apparently a really good matchup for the Kassadin. In fact, he's already gone through most of his potions.
Oh, melee versus melee. Stun does land. Impact phase does back in again. Oh no, Impact. Another solo kill. Seraph flashes out this time.
Yeah, it didn't flash the stun, and instead waits on it. And this is low mobility.
Yeah, that's real bad time. Ninja insta-flash, which is the right play. But not so lucky if Meteos comes visiting again.
And Meteos may visit that top lane soon, because that flash is down from Seraph. Almost got solo killed by Impact again. It's just been a nightmare of a matchup for him, regardless of what he plays, counter matchup or not. Kennen into Gnar, Kassadin the Echo, it doesn't matter.
Impact going to reach on the top lane aggressively with that teleport. Doesn't have 6, so probably not able to dive.
Yeah.
Onto Seraph as Proxen stealing away the blue. Does get it for himself.
Yeah, Proxen should go top right now. Impact is trying to put pressure onto Seraph so he can't back. But instead, yeah, it looks like he is going to have to just back and TP to the turret. So chunked out enough to make that matter.
Buys him enough time. Hawkshot actually will spot him backing, so Impact has a bit of extra info. Catalyst is the first item there for Seraph, but instant TP back. Gonna put Seraph right back on top of the creep wave. Impact going for a wonder as Meteos is priming for yet another mid lane dive. And this could be 3v1 right now.
Yeah, I think you bring along another friend. It's not like a Varus where he has something that can stop you with a chain or anything like that.
No
Meteos sees this.
Yeah, then no Proxen here. He actually gets out from under the trap, but he did get spotted, I believe, by the small reveal. Impact now going to prime up the parallel convergence, and that'll send him off the turret, at least for a little bit here. No real damage done here for Cloud9, but they are keeping Ninja down in this lane as Zintin is up almost 20 CS. Ninja going to play catch up as he gets the ones under the turret here.
This is one of those things where you look at the champion that you have in mid lane, you're like, this didn't really turn out the way I thought it would. Kind of like that Pantheon mid. We harken back to that. But maybe they have more plans. And here comes, oh, Proxen's off on the side too. He can set up a spear.
This is nice, spear. Oh, he's going to land in. Jensen drinks back into it. Does have flash, he might have to use it, but Proxen not enough to chase. Flash in, flashes the W out as well. Jensen dodges that last little spear. Great play.
Did he not get hunted from that spear?
That's a good point, actually. Maybe it didn't hit him.
I'm unsure. Yeah, spear actually...
It didn't hit, by the looks of things. It did miss. I mean, he got him back into the crit, which was nice, but Jensen played amazingly to get out from under that.
Yeah.
Had to burn all the sums as Impact and Seraph still dueling here in that top side, but Seraph able to do good damage back. Blinks out from under the Time Winder. Impact with his ultimate as well, so these trades could get very close.
Yeah, spear didn't hit. Yeah, we just went back and watched it like 3 times. He was so close. Actually incredible that he made it out of that. So, yeah, Jensen with the happy feet.
He's known for some pretty strong shoes. Does dance his way out from under that. Hakuho does not want to get eaten by Tom Kemp, so hops back onto Lod. But you can see this Varus pick. Definitely a decent AD carry laner, but sneaky and smoothie able to play up in this lane. And with a 10 CS lead, likely going to grow here as well. The advantage they had in this 2v2 in game number 2, not going to be here, at least early on for Envy. That tier gonna have to take its time charging up.
Yeah, that's one of the big downfalls of the laning phase of both Ezreal and Varus. Very mana-based, so they have to go for that item. Sometimes you go with the serrated Dirk right off the bat, but it just takes a long time to ramp up.
Ooh, phase dive in. Impact actually taking damage. Eats some tower shots for his trouble. Not gonna burn the ulti back in though. Impact might have to be careful. Dark Steel and the corrupting potion is there, but I think he's out of charges to drink from, so that might be Impact backing. We'll see if he uses his ultimate to get back to lane quickly.
I think he would, just to keep pressure on. It seems like what you would want to do on Echo. And yep, yeah, you come, and then this is part of the build as well, is you get the Dark Seal and you get the corrupting potion. Because every time you do this, you get corrupting potion charges again, and then they're even more effective because of the Dark Seal.
Did burn through as many as he could.
Yep.
While hanging out in the fountain. Gets a shame for himself as well. So it's the little things here, but Impact making them all count. He's going to move in for just actually a proxy of a wave. Thought he was going to wall, but doesn't have one. With Seraph going from the wave, he's going to cut this one down and deny a pretty good amount of CS to this turret.
Yeah, pretty much a full wave there. And then makes it so this next wave crashes against the turret and is pushed up. And Seraph is going to have to be underneath his own as he CS's these. And then he gets a clean back for himself here.
I like it. Impact playing with pressure. Teleports back up as well. So we'll have TP for a little bit while Seraph doesn't. Smoothie back in onto Lod there, but actually answering back as Lod turns the ultimate to lock down the Tahm Kench. Sneaky also ready with his arrow, so could turn it around. As Prox and Meteos kind of stalking each other here.
Did he not see the spear?
No,
I'm pretty sure you see those spears though. You have a small vision radius. You don't have no vision radius. Actually, fun fact is if Nocturne ulties while you're playing Rek'Sai, you actually have no vision at all. If you're burrowed, you can't see anything.
Makes sense.
It's pretty bad. You get very scared.
Well, lost it where it can. Haku are going to help him out, but Cloud9 might be descending upon the objective.
Arrow's already in transit.
It missed. They're chill back in. Great shot back from Jensen. Ninja forced to burn the flash again. Smoothie will tank up what he can. He pops the Grey Health for a bit of extra shield, but here's the ulti out from Ninja. There's one. There's two. Smoothie tanking them up. Jensen has to eat the last few shots. Bullet lands in. Proxon looking for a spear, but Jensen dives away again.
Yeah. Sneaky didn't go for along for the ride. So you thought that the Ashe was going to pop out with him, but he didn't.
Well, Voyage incomplete that time. But good little roam there from Sneaky and Smoothie. Smoothie trying to make the Tahm Kench pick count whenever he can.
Yeah, it's such a good pick. That Abyssal Voyage, the way it's used now, it's just so quick. A lot of people will actually duck out of lane, look like they're warding, pick up their jungler, and then do a back gank. It gets pretty dirty. And here we go. Speaking of getting pretty dirty, this top lane.
Good kite. Oh, Impact actually got a bit of extra shield there. Seraph going to get chased down again. Phase out required. Flash in. Impact. Does he?
Oh, he
does. First blood there. Ulti's out under the turret.
Another solo kill for Impact again on Seraph. Seraph just can't seem to win this matchup. This is his kryptonite.
Can't catch a break. Impact's playing amazingly. Right where he left off there in that game 4 in the playoff.
And this was his counter pick. This was the Kassadin into the Echo, the one that he had set up in the games against Liquid and beat Lorlo with. Now, Impact's like, I don't buy that. That's not a counter matchup. Blind picks the Echo. Doesn't matter that he sees this coming.
Impact just doesn't care at this point, I think. He's done so well to watch this duel again. Impact makes every little bit count here.
So, yeah, Seraph gets everything off. Dodges, goes back through, but Seraph still got the shield. And just the auto attacks. And then just that little bit of hesitation there. You saw Seraph go to the left for a quick quarter second. And that's what ended up allowing him to still be in range, I believe.
Nice little blink there. Impact burns his summoner, but does get the kill for first blood under the turret. Envy looking to challenge around this Drake, though, as Proxon will take away the Scuttle Crab from the river. Jensen available with the ultimate. Does have blue buff as well. Haven't seen him really leave lane yet, but seen people visit him to try and take down Ninja. Envy, though, trying to get a bit more proactive. Get themselves the first major objective.
Yeah, I think they realize that the Ocean Drake is very valuable for them as a poke composition, but they are cut off.
Good wall this time from Jensen, Lod, and the rest of Envy kind of caught out. Hakuo does leap away, but he gets stunned in the process. Impact finally joins his team, but now Cloud9 actually has to be a bit more careful. Jensen eating damage on the ultimate as Seraph's going to jump in on him. Smoothie needs to eat him to safety, does get him just in time. Pops him over the wall, and now Cloud9 looking to maybe keep chasing Impact. He smells blood.
Yeah, you can eat people over small walls like that. Not very large walls like the blue buff and stuff like that, but there's small points on those walls that you can. It's the ones where like Nidalee can jump over. But speaking of Nidalee,
Get chased down by Meteos. Great flash on Burrow there as Meteos gets himself a kill.
And Proxima wasn't expecting that. He had his flash up as well and not able to react or even predict that that was going to happen.
Cloud9 keep Envy off the Drake. They don't get it themselves, but they get themselves another kill, and they're starting to snowball a bit of a gold lead again. They will revisit the Drake as well. Shuttle Corporation hasn't timed out, but Cloud9 feel confident in the hold they have in this bottom lane. And they are just going to take this Drake away, and Envy, who tried to make a proactive play for kind of the first time in the series, will get themselves punished here.
And Envy wanted that Drake. And sure, Jensen, they spend a lot to try and get him. Doesn't get him because of the Tahm Kench pick that they had let go through. And that's big. I feel like this Tahm Kench and the Ashe are both champions that C9 will take 10 out of 10 times. If they can get their hands on these two champions, especially together, they will take them.
Well, it certainly looked good here in this game. Sneaky, of course, his third Ashe game in the row for the series. Claude and his Varus not holding up just yet, but the Manamino is there, so might get a little bit better. This bottom lane turret could be the biggest story here in the 2v2. It's taking quite a lot of damage and impact. He's got some friends. Solo gold, he does get it for himself, but it's 1v2 right now. Proxim's going to join in. Seraph eats a big chunk of damage and impact, going to try and kite his way out of this one. Dodges the next spear, and he's out scot-free.
Yep, gets 650 gold and just says, later guys, I'll see you when I'm back and have all these items. That's going to be really bad for Seraph in that top lane. 2 levels down as well. It's just gone from bad to worse over and over again.
Feels like this keeps happening as Impact ulti's back in, and he's actually snuck into the brush here. This is very cheeky. I don't think Seraph's going to face check. Uh-oh.
No, he's going to push up because he wants to clear the wave. And
he heard it!
Oh, he follows
chased
it too.
in. Yeah, face dive falls after the blink, and Seraph's going to get chased again. Impact one more time.
Who counters who? This Cassidy.
Impact counters Seraph apparently as Ninja gets himself knocked back in, forced to flash out of the way as Proxim's going to cover the damage from mid lane. Cloud9 starting to pick that pace back up again.
Yep, they have a small advantage and they just keep trying to grow it right now. And I feel as though that top turret, that 650 extra gold, that solo kill again, both of the 2 kills that Impact has in this game are unassisted, and he's just been doing work for his team. He has been something that doesn't take resources, and he's creating advantages by himself.
Proxim getting chased out of his own jungle here. Meteos and Smoothie teaming up to make sure he stays away. Jensen threatening to wall over, as he does have his ultimate ready. Cloud9, I think, just trying to bust down a few more turrets. Bottom lane turrets quite low from the damage that Sneaky's been able to kind of push in. Although right now he's left alone. Smoothie's busy jungling. They'll waddle back down. And we'll see if Cloud9 with actually 4 members.
Is that Abyssal Voyage? Yes, it is.
Voyage is in onto Hako. Arrow's going to land in. They've actually moved Smoothie, Meteos in as well. Sneaky's going to have to flash out of the way as Proxim has joined in. But 4v3 here for Cloud9 with 1 cut off, and Lod's just dead.
And Lod, yeah, I mean, everybody else gets out, but they spent a lot to get him, and now this bottom turret wide open for Cloud9 to take.
And Impact not done. Actually, after Seraph again, but now they're in the mid lane. Gets locked down by the snare. Impact does have an ult. He actually uses the dodges out of the way! You are kidding me!
Absolutely disgusting. 3 solo kills in this game for Impact onto Seraph. This is a tilter right here. This is one where you just go, this guy, he's so good. It's ridiculous.
Don't do it, Proxim. It's not safe.
Where did I feel like he just became possessed by his past.
Yeah.
When playoffs started, when 615 dropped, and it's like, this patch, just one of those patch notes at the bottom, it's like bug fix, it's now SKT Impact, like intended again.
Well, he's got a Trinity Force now, so Seraph's life is going from bad to worse in that 1v1 matchup. Impact's going to actually move down bottom lane now that their turret's gone, and good luck to anyone from Envy that wants to challenge him right now. 5,000 gold up for C9 with 2 turrets. We'll just watch this bottom side again, actually.
Yep, Arrow ends up hitting Hakuo, and they deliver right on him. And then the Jensen Weaver's wall gives him a little bit of a bump, and Hakuo gets out of there. But then Lod is the one who's really just left out to dry. Wall goes down, and Proxim's able to escape on top of it. And hey!
Surprise! Impact's at it again. Goodbye, Lord. Impact gonna chase him down. Timewinder lands in. Impact with another. Hako stunned it by Sneaky's arrow. He's gonna get eaten. No, Smoothie just tongues him to death.
Yeah,
and Cloud9 there for his buddy.
Yeah. Oh man, this has been 4 solo kills, 4 Impact in this game. And I feel like it's just going to get worse for Envy as this game progresses. It's a 5,000 gold lead, but that advantage is all in a Trinity Force. And here comes an Abyssal Void.
This is really rude. Riding in onto Ninja. Ninja gets tagged. Smoothie flashes in for him. Knocked back there as Meteos able to kill him before the shove happens. Seraph from Proxim trying to work on a turret here in top lane, but it is just the little victories now for Envy, so we'll claim turret number 1.
And now they're just going to come behind them He just used Rift Walk forward. Meteos
Oh, it doesn't bite
doesn't
him.
hit him. Did he move?
Yeah,
He didn't.
gone.
It wasn't there.
He's
Seraph,
gone.
though.
Yeah, he's dead, I think. Yep, flash, maybe enough. Needs a blink, gonna keep running forward, gets exhausted, blinks over the wall, very nicely done, but Meteos gonna follow with the tunnel. Flash on Borrow, that should secure the kill. Meteos grabs his third of the game.
Yeah, bites him right in the face as well. Doesn't go for that extra Q. And I feel as though, like, Seraph in this series, 0-4 and 0, he used to be a big point of power for this team. But when they're up against a top laner like this, it really shuts down a lot of your map movements with your shot caller.
Ulti? Oh, he doesn't want to do it.
He's not AP Echo. He doesn't go back in and blow everybody up.
That would have been heroic.
He just buys time. He knows his team is pushing on the map, and he always buys just such valuable time for his team.
Hakuho and Lord. Oh, actually here, it's Ninja that opens up with the ulti this time.
Impact has TP as well. He's coming in.
Jensen tagged by a Q there, but Meteos and Impact are going to join back in, and Envy are kind of cut off now. Ninja going to get soloed down by Impact. Envy just cannot defend versus the rampaging Echo. Pathfinder lands in, Impact still buying a lot more time. He ulti's out of the way. Not quite stunned just yet. Oh, does good actually get stunned as the shutdown comes on Prox and Impact. A little too much there.
Yeah, a little too aggressive. Completes the teleport, but he still makes them all chase him. And that first kill for Envy, they're on the board.
And to your point on Seraph, I don't even think that's Seraph's fault in this game. He's a good player. He's had some good moments, but just the way Impact and the rest of Cloud9 have been playing.
I feel like Impact is just taking advantage of Seraph's tiny mistakes. Right? If you misplay on the cast-in, you're a little too far forward, and Impact is able to solo kill you, or the Kennen just goes too aggressive. Impact is like, oh, he messed up, he done goofed, I'm going to turn this around on him. Not a lot of top laners do that to you, and he recognizes it. He's very well educated in these matchups, apparently, and the strengths of his champions. A lot of times in scrims, people throw their champions at the other one over and over again. It's just pretty much, let's just keep brawling so you can learn your breakpoints. And he knew his right off the bat.
Well, it's looking good. Sin9 collapsing for this Mountain Drake. Impact's going to chase down Lord. Looking for another kill here. Meteos going to dive into the back and see here as Meteos now on a rampage. Ninja eats an arrow. Proxen flashing out with no health left as Jensen's going to flash the wall. Look to try and take some kills down. Impact on the off screen. Takes out Hakuho. And now they're going to dive in for another kill. Jensen face taking the turret. Gets eaten up by Smoothie. Very clean dive from Cloud9 as Sneaky does kill Seraph. And where's Impact? Just casually diving.
Yep.
2 turrets.
Yep, casually diving. Not a problem there at all.
Smoothie, no! Oh! Smoothie sacrifices his life. No, Sneaky! Gets himself sniped. Smoothie scumbags him. Gets out instead.
Oh, does he? Oh!
Just hit him right in the hat. Doesn't quite get him with the W as Proxen. Instead, just going to take a bit of extra jungle. Envy playing what they can, but 6,000 gold up for Cloud9, who are really putting the pace on this game.
Yeah, and a lot of that is Impact. I feel like we're like a broken record right now. Impact and Meteos have both been playing incredibly well in this entire series. And Impact has had the most kills on his team every single game. He's at, I think, 23 kills now in 3 games. He's been an absolute monster.
Just amazing. And full credit to the rest of Cloud9. It's not like it's slack being picked up by Impact. He just happens to be playing
extra.
Just happens to be playing the best of a team that seems like they're on fire right now. And the nice thing for Impact is if you're coming in this strong, you're looking over the other side tomorrow against Immortals, looking at Huni, and Huni's like, for the first time maybe ever, Huni's a little worried. Not very, but a little.
Might be eager to play a powerful opponent as well and prove himself again, because the 2 games that Immortals won against Cloud9, he did 1,000 damage per minute in both of those games. And then the 3 that they lost, he was really blown up by Impact, like a 1 in 8 Kennen game, completely punished. And that's what Impact is great at, is punishing top laners who go too aggressive. And it might just be a favorable matchup stylistically, just like this one is for him.
Well, I guess we'll find out tomorrow if we get there. Cloud9 poised in this 3rd game to complete the sweep, but not done yet. 22 minutes in, Mountain Drake will be Cloud9's here. So they're going to look to try and siege down this pesky mid-outer turret that's still standing. Impact, no teleport, but up relatively soon as he shoves out the bottom wave. And Envy trying to get something back here with the counter push, but it's a little dangerous.
Yeah, and they're just buying time for Impact now to push. They know they can't actually engage yet with no teleport available. And they're all, like, you see Cloud9 are on the right side, making sure that they herd Envy to the left, so it's away from Impact, so that he can get this turret and get that tier 2.
He's going to get it here. Smart stuff there from Cloud9, but great from Envy to push in and break open a pretty key section of the map.
Yeah, they're pushing them all off to the left side. Envy are on the left side of the map. They're caught. This tier 1 is completely open now, and Impact goes onto that inhibitor turret. Kassadin didn't back. He canceled his back. Seraph didn't back. So that's going to be a turret.
It's dead, I think, here. Trinity Force should be enough. Impact needs a few more hits. Going to swat down this turret. Nearly trying to clean the way, but Impact, just takes it. Cloud9 are actually coming. They want more from this play, it seems like.
And Impact is just a pressure point. He knows he's so far ahead. Who's going to duel him? Seraph's here? Okay, let's see how this one goes.
Not bad. He's 3 levels down, so not great.
Yeah, the last ones were much bloodier than that one.
Ooh, more damage.
Ooh.
Smoothie again. Trying to protect old Sneaky. Jensen keeping Lot back though. That's big damage. Jensen able to get himself a kill. Now Impact finds his way finally into the team fight. Hakuho going to get himself blocked up. Ninja unburied there as Impact's diving straight in onto Ninja. Wants it, goes for it. Blinks forward there with a flash. Forced to ulti out. Can't complete the kill.
Yep, got the 3rd proc of his passive off. The Z Drive Resonance. Oh, man. That one was a mouthful. Gets the slow, but still not enough.
Well, tower still stands as well for Envy, so defending a relatively critical structure in the middle of the map is good. Top of a ward is Impact. Oh, bad news bears up. Proxen goes in for it. That's a little too much. Does flash out of the way, but Meteor's going to try and snipe him down. Seraph here to protect his buddy, but Proxen is reaching for that play.
Yeah, it's a very tanky Echo already.
We're okay.
He just backs off. And now it's wave clear duty on the bottom side of the map for Envy, and they haven't been able to turn this composition online at all. The bottom lane, 0-7 and 2, but they've assisted in those 2 kills that have happened. Right now, across the board, Envy, it just looks like they are in shambles. And Cloud9 are proving that they are a superior team. It is almost 10,000 gold up.
Yeah, these numbers are getting pretty
7,000 at the moment.
Basically the same. I mean, with the way the Cloud9 be playing, I cannot blame you. It certainly feels like they're playing like they're that far ahead. Cloud9, again, still working on some turrets here. Do have 5, but kind of want this one there in the mid lane. Ninja is defending with his life and then some, as Envy are constantly there to shake off the pressure. But Impact, back to that open inhib on bottom lane, and Proxen almost ate a shove there. Stands his ground, looks for a spear on Jensen, doesn't land it. Envy gonna have to contest with Impact and his very fed Echo once again.
Yep, Impact can keep pushing out that bottom wave and then make sure that Seraph is there and then try to flank. And he does a lot of damage to this turret if he was able to actually phase dive in and hit it with a Trinity Force proc.
There's enough space here, I think. No, Hakuho puts up the Unbreakable. Smoothie again going to eat ultimate damage here. Sneaky also getting tagged. Impact going to block for his team. Holding on to that last bullet. Impact just waits. He's very tanky. Doesn't even fire it.
Yep. Decides to let it time out instead, and now this push, it's a very low turret. You can't actually use this as safety.
Ooh,
hits Ninja.
Ninja tagged in. There's the Weaver. Swarm Cloud not going to complete the dive here. Turret getting low, but not dead yet. Hakuho kind of chained up in that front line, but now going to stand aside away. But Impact just dives in. He takes out Ninja. Ulti's out to safety. Hakuho and Lot bleeding low as well. Impact looking to re-engage. 5v4 Cloud9. What more can they get here?
Oh. Nope, Impact doesn't get hit up there by the spear from Proxen, and they just disengage. They got the turret, they got what they came for, and now Cloud9 get to back off. Baron's still on the table, and they just have absolute control. Oh, right into it.
Very nice from Jensen. Proxen might be okay. Jensen's going to keep following in.
Right?
He's got it, yeah, he's able to chase in. Oh, that's not the right direction. Flashes it forward anyway. Does I can style too.
Yep, the Ghost allows him to continue that chase, and the flash over the wall uses both summoner spells, but he gets the jungler down.
Not content with Impact having all the highlight reels this series, as that's a Magize from Echo.
Yeah, you have the Dark Seal as a potion enhancing item, and then if you do just so happen to get 10 stacks, you go, all right, I think it's about time that, you know, it's kind of a crime not to turn it into a Magize at that point.
I think Impact deserves it, certainly, given the game and series he has had. Cloud9 certainly creeping towards that 10k lead, almost 9k up at this stage of the game. Minute left till that Mountain Drake. Cloud9 is kind of pushing in together now for this open inhib. And this is pressure. Ninja again with the ultimate. Smoothie here to block. Clears out the creep wave instead. And arrow right into his face. Impact going to dive in. Ninja nowhere to go. And that's going to be another kill for Cloud9. Sneaky with that one.
And now this middle turret. Their wave clear rather low now. Cloud9 are just going to take even more off of that. They have that bottom inhibitor open, but there is a Baron still on the table. They may go with a split push here.
Looks like they are a little divided right now.
They're probably going to set up for Drake. It's a Mountain Drake. It'll help you take that Baron a little bit faster, but wait, no, they aren't.
Jensen wants in, he goes straight forward, look, it's chopped on. And that's an easy kill. Smoothie gonna flash in, eats Hakuho before he can stand away, and that's just a bouncy castle of CC as Impact claims his 7th kill of the game. Cloud9 open it right up and run it down mid.
Yeah, they might be able to get 2 of these inhibitors here. And Envy, they're gonna try to flank with Seraph and Proxen. It's not like Kennen or anything like that. You can't blow up a whole team. Yeah, at this point, if you're Envy, 12,000 gold down, and you have to be afraid of almost every member of Cloud9 now with the bank that they've all acquired.
Little ill-advised. As Impact continues to apply pressure to this bottom wave, it will be that Drake that Cloud9 do go for, so they consolidate for the easier objective, and they'll reset likely for Baron. The 2 Mountain Drakes shouldn't be too hard to do, as they will pick up that next one. And Impact is just still going. Seraph holding on for a little while, but that's just with Impact has a shot.
Yeah. And Impact did hit that critical 15 stack, so now he has that extra movement speed from the Majais, sitting at that 16 after this fight. Great Weaver's Wall there, and then the follow-up, they all just pile onto Lod. No help really available, and Hakuho jumps away and he gets his foot caught by the catfish. And I've been watching Lod's player cam this entire series. It actually looks like he's not getting tilted at all by this, and he's just having a good time.
Credit to Envy for certainly keeping spirits high, but they knew it was going to be rough going in. Certainly seemed that way.
I had never seen Proxen laugh that hard in Champion Select, right? It's like, these guys are definitely having a good time. They took down Liquid yesterday, 3-0. They got to be feeling good about that.
Jensen. Ooh, does get them out of the way. Never mind. Bullet goes under Meteos.
And here comes Smoothie and Sneaky. He's going to be like, oh, my AD carry, I sold him out.
That's not enough, and now Sneaky, no, not safe at all.
This might be Baron for Envy if they decide to turn on it.
Something to say about Baron. He actually ulties out of the way, but maybe he doesn't have enough for his 1v5. How much magic does he have this time? Gonna juke out as best he can, but a slow hits in, and there's the shutdown on Favaris.
That is huge. 50-second death timer onto Impact, 20 onto Jensen now, and you have to go after this Baron. Meteos still alive, though. Can he go for the Miracle Steal?
Well, Envy are going to start this Baron, and why wouldn't they? Given where they are now. Rocket popped through a little bit of extra health. Envy are taking decent damage here. Meteos just has to sneak in for it, but he's going to get zoned, and they're not going to get it. Baron goes over to Envy, and we might have a game here.
Yeah. 8,000 gold lead, so it's down from 12, a 4K gold swing there. They got a lot of those Magi stacks off of Impact and making that item less cost efficient every time. This, Jensen, Meteos is not actually blocking for Jensen here. Jensen he takes those last 2 shots because he's not hiding behind him. Meteos did get knocked up, so it was hard for him to move, and then Smoothie arrives. That's one of those disavoyages you wish you could cancel. AD carry was in there too, it was just not a good position in the first place. And then Impact dives in, trying to buy time, and they desperately want him, but ooh, gives one right back.
Yep, Meteos able to snipe Proxen away there. And Cloud9 continue their hold on the game for now. Envy certainly with a good amount of gold coming in there, and they'll take Baron off the map. Jensen once again. All right, Smoothie's going to help him out with the dodging etiquette. Last bullet hits Smoothie, he's pretty tanky, so everything's going to be okay there. And Cloud9 do get themselves caught. We'll see if Envy can capitalize again, or if Cloud9 calm things down just a bit here and look to kind of close out this game at a slightly slower pace. They will have to contend with an Envy-empowered Baron for a little while longer.
Exactly. They have those inhibitors down, though, so those minions will auto-push towards Envy, so Envy are just getting an influx of cash over and over again. Now is the time to take this bottom inhib, because Proxen's not alive, and you have that numbers advantage.
Good little wall. Make sure the inhibitor can go down here as C9 will get themselves out from the base. Mid-inhib's going to respawn in about a minute, I think, but Cloud9 able to take that bottom one out. No Drake to play to just yet, and Envy did, of course, take Baron off the map. So, see what they can do with this as see how this one happened. Proxen just caught it in blue bubble.
So much damage there, and then the final hit there from Meteos with the Q. And Smoothie actually got an assist off of that as well, so assuming he got a tongue lash in there that I missed.
Well, Impact in his stacks did take a bit of a hit, but it's okay for now. Envy actually trying to shove it down mid with their Baron buff here. They have to contend with super creeps for a little while longer, but not too much more. We'll see if they can get a turret off this.
I mean, you do have double AD carry.
Yeah.
You do a lot of damage to this turret when you get up to it. And turrets do actually have a bit of armor now, and armor penetration works on them.
Lot actually popping his Ghost Blade. Looks like Meteor's trying to find an angle. Seraph with the teleport is bottom lane, so can join his team if he needs to. Smoothie going to eat a spear. Impact trying to chase one down, but not in range for the stun there after parallel convergence. And Envy do a nice little job trading objectives where they can. They're keeping themselves up in or afloat in this game, if nothing else. But they're still pretty far behind. If Envy and one of their classic late game comebacks is going to happen, though, the things that needed to happen to start it off have now happened.
Yes, and now they're cresting great breakpoints for themselves. Muramana, they have the penetration items that they need. The Last Whispers are now coming in for Lot and Ninja. And this is Seraph also getting closer to that split push build. 0 and 5 to start it off, but if he's able to get some structures and split push their way to victory, then that's a way that they can kind of go around and circumvent having to fight Cloud9 straight on with that gold lead.
Caught up nicely in experience as well, so things are looking up for Envy certainly, as gold lead will start to matter a little less as we creep forward towards the later stages of the game. Cloud9 though, kind of doing it the standard way, working towards that top half of the map, sending Impact bottom lane to apply pressure in that lane. They know they've got a nice little pivot to play around here with the way the inhibitors are currently taken down. Cloud9 know that they don't want to rush this. This is their chance to seal their return fight with Immortals tomorrow. Yep. They would like as much rest as they can get.
They want that semifinal match, and they want to cast no doubt into people's minds that they are the second best team, because some people are saying that match could have gone either way, and Impact is caught.
Good ulti, gets himself out from under the cone as Ninja's ultimate.
Here comes the collapse.
Yeah, Cloud9 actually looking in, but Meteor's caught!
Hakuo used his ultimate onto nothing there.
Oh,
and that's
Seraph. Seraph Smoothie gonna eat up Meteor so to get him out safely, and Cloud9 took too much damage going for that play. Envy once again still holding on. I feel like I've seen this one before.
I've seen this one many times throughout the split with Envy holding on. They're very good at stalling games out, and that's the Cloud Drake on the table, but Meteos has to back, does have the Void Rush to get back out there, and that's going to be how Cloud9 don't have to give that up.
Well, good stuff there from Cloud9. Again, they've had, I think, such a strong presence around the map. That's been the invisible difference, I suppose, is that Envy, you know, they've one for one. It can be tough to match because of how well Cloud9's laners and laning has been, but the real, I think, show of their play this series has just been how well they play with map pressure and how well they can kind of play around Envy, even when the game is a little more even. Cloud9 just feels like they're in a bit more control of what's happening around the map and on top of the objectives.
Yeah, and if you just think about the tools that Cloud9 have at their disposal that they draft, why they love Tahm Kench, Ashe, and even Talia is just it's so much map mobility. Everybody on this team of Cloud9 actually has a global/semi-global. Tahm Kench has Voyage, you have the Arrow, you have Talia ult, you have Meteos with the Void Rush, and then even just the teleport from the top lane. So that's so many things that Envy have to constantly think about. What is available right now? Is Jensen close enough that if I fight this, he could come in? So that's very paralyzing, or you don't take it in consideration, you forget about it, and then you get punished by it, which is what was happening in this game, were those solo kills, and then just the cascading effect of all of these globals and the advantage that Cloud9 had created.
Cloud9 again have really just taken the next few minutes a little slower. Baron is up in a minute 20. They did take the last Drake, which was a Cloud Drake, and now Elder Dragon will spawn if that's where they want to look to as well. Impact doing what he can, just escorting that minion wave into the down the mid lane, and the super should push bottom lane as well. Weaver's all going to cut him off.
He's cutting off the turret so that you can stand on the left side where Sneaky is at the top, and then get some damage onto the turret. The Weaver's wall used at that angle is usually for that purpose.
Nice little play there from Jensen, but I don't think they got too much damage done to that turret. No, not at all, actually. Barely a
they
scratch.
barely got any.
As you can see there. So Cloud9 kind of struggling a little bit to close the game versus Envy. We've seen this a lot. Envy are good at dragging those games out, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
And kind of resorting to getting a pick here, hiding in the brush, waiting around the Baron area. They're up with the blue buff, getting pretty strong. Might even have the zombies on this particular back. And maybe Envy even fancy a fight at this point, saying, you know what, we've stalled for long enough. I think we can actually take some sort of 5v5 now.
Yeah. Some of them are cresting those
marks. Never mind. Everything's going wrong. Hakuo gonna get stunned up there as he face checks the brush.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, you know, we've seen those games go long for Envy, but they don't win a whole lot of them because they face check thing. We've seen Ninja get over aggressive on things like Karma and series that they could have won.
Seraph, that was a sick knockback by Jensen. Smoothie gonna collect credit for that kill. C9, no, 2 dead. Don't worry about the Baron. Let's try and close the game.
Here they go. Abyssal Voyage into the backline, and he's going to be delivering Meteos.
Well, Lod, Proxen, and Ninja all chased out of their own base. Meteor tags 2 there with the Unburrow, and Lod now going to get flashed on there by Jensen. That's going to be a kill for Cloud9. As Smoothie going to flash forward and try and take down Ninja. Needs a little bit more. Going to miss that tongue left, but Impact's diving in instead. And as always, Impact has the final stamp on that kill.
Yep, and this is going to be Cloud9 waiting for these minion waves as they start to push them up. They need both inhibitors, but they don't have those waves just yet.
Well, they're going to take 2 down here. What else do they want here? Sneaky guiding the wave in on bottom lane. Death time is very long. Ninja, 40 seconds away.
Yeah, but they will have the wave clear that they need in Lod up in 20 seconds. And Seraph will be up as well in 5. Is that enough, though? These minions are going to take down that backdoor bonus right now. And Cloud9 are going for the jugular.
They're going to try and close it. There's Nexus turret number 1. Impact actually tanking up the turret hits here, but Meteor's going to move his way back in. Impact going to tank it down as Jensen shoves another 2 back. As Sneaky gets a double. Arrow goes wide as Seraph flashes it, but he'll die instead. Sneaky getting jumped up, but his team is there to protect him. And Cloud9 are going to look to close this game out. Lod going to get trapped in the base, but Cloud9 going to sweep the series to play Immortals tomorrow in what was one of the best series in the playoffs.
Absolutely was, Pastry. That series was a delight to cast, and tomorrow it happens again. The rematch of the semifinals from Immortals versus Cloud9 for that final spot at Worlds to represent North America.
You can see the smiles on the face there of Envy as the teams will shake hands. High spirits for the team, knew that it was going to be a long shot in the gauntlet. And of course, we'll see them next year as well in the spring season of the NALCS. So plenty for Envy here as they move forward, but unfortunately, their chance at Worlds does end here with a defeat to Cloud9 in the gauntlet. And we've set it up again. Everyone looked at the gauntlet and said, C9 Immortals just feels like fate. We're going to have that best of 5 once again tomorrow. Our last spot, like you mentioned, for Worlds. As one more team's going to move over to represent North America with the help of TSM and CLG. Cloud9 just looking on point.
Yeah, they have to strike a little bit of fear into the hearts of Immortals, who now have to go, okay, this is what they like to play, this is what they can play with the Yasuo top and these other things that we saw today. So that was the matchup that Immortals have probably been preparing for the last week, because if you looked at the gauntlet and the seeding, you think you're going to play Cloud9 in the finals. You think you're going to have that rematch. They desperately want it, and they've had the time to prepare for that best of 5.
And the thing I love is that even expecting to win here for Cloud9, which they probably did, considering themselves favorites, what you show to Immortals playing here today is very important. You know, barely missed a beat. Impact constantly playing and solo killing people. It feels like all of Cloud9 were up and ready to play, and a 3-0 is very different to a 3-1. Even though the result is the same for Cloud9, because Immortals look across at the other side and say, that is full strength Cloud9, that is who we have to beat tomorrow.
Exactly, and that's a lot of momentum coming into tomorrow. 3-0, not a lot of blemishes on your record there. There's like 1 or 2 fights like in the entire series over the course of 3 games. And you think about Impact's performance throughout all of playoffs, people are still kind of like, okay, I don't know if he's going to turn into a pumpkin. I feel like now you can definitely say he is this type of top laner. These solo lanes, being able to play one-on-one helps him so much. He had the most kills on his team in every single game. He was very close to the Varus' damage in this game and being number 1 in damage as a top lane tank Echo. This guy is the real deal.
Certainly is. Well, it's time to send it to the stage where Dom Roma is standing by with Cloud9's veteran jungler for a post-game interview.
Thanks, guys. I am joined by Meteos after an absolutely brutal 3-game series. How has Cloud9 rebounded so quickly after the finals last week?
Well, I think after we lost, we were all pretty sad, but we realized we could still get to World. It's not the end of the world. But I don't know. I think that we played pretty well. Envy gave us a lot of openings, which I don't think we will have against Immortals. So it's really hard to say how we'll do against them, but hopefully it goes this well.
Yeah. Well, you've already gone 3-2 against them. What are your thoughts on the series? Is there anything you're concerned about?
Immortals?
Yes.
I think they're really good. It looks like they sort of were getting their confidence back after beating CLG, because after Toronto, you know, we finished higher than them 2nd place, but we ended on a loss and they ended on a win. So it's kind of weird, but I think that both teams are pretty good. And I think both teams do deserve to be at Worlds, but only one of us can make it, so hopefully it's us.
Yeah, well, fingers are crossed. Now, one final question for you. Impact has been playing out of his mind these past few days, these past few weeks even. What's it been like to play with him?
It's pretty easy. You know, he just goes top die, and then he gets a solo kill. So I don't know. He's really good.
All right, very cool. Well, Meteos, again, congratulations. Thank you so much for the chat. We're going to break down that at the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Dom. I'm sure Meteos and the rest of Cloud9 will be happy to have ended this one 3-0, much in contrast to last year's regional qualifier run. They're going to have more left in the tank, I think, when it comes to facing Immortals tomorrow. But let's conclude breaking down this series here, the 3-0 victory for C9. This third game, very reminiscent of the other ones in that Impact being a monster in the top lane on the Echo into Kassadin matchup. And I think that's kind of the biggest point there is this was a matchup that they knew Seraph would want to take because he played it yesterday, and yet Impact comes out on top.
I mean, I'm just not super convinced of the matchup overall. It wasn't great, great for Seraph yesterday in the initial parts of the game, and then once again here, we see that Impact just runs away with the matchup, with the first blood that he gets.
Yeah, well, the matchup isn't that convincing. Just the actual play, the way he handled it was just really great. Watching the 1v1 all-ins was always a treat.
Now, there were a number of 1v1s, but let's take a look at that first blood that we're talking about, the one that kicked it all off, because it definitely felt like in this matchup, he had permission after this one to go even harder in the lanes.
And the big thing to know in his all-in is that he's able to get the return damage on both his time winders. So he's going to walk back behind him, another extra little bit of damage, and then he's going to be able to finish it off with a flash E.
And also being able to get the shield as well.
That's what I was about to say, the step back.
He played it to the point where he got everything. He got the shield to mitigate the R damage and the W damage, and he got his own Q to hit twice. Everything was played flawlessly.
Yeah, even if he didn't get the stun, he has the presence of mind to take that extra step towards the shield, knowing it's going to be more useful in the fight to absorb that damage. As you can see here, once again, gold graph almost into... There is actually one little tick of red there right before 10 minutes, but for the most part, wildly in C9's favor. I think if you had to point to anything, though, that in this third game to criticize C9 moving forward is their ability to end a game, and as we've mentioned and pointed out through all these games, that in each of them, they've kind of given a little bit of their lead back at some point.
They're rough around the edges, for sure, in closing out these games. Some of the fights that they take are uncharacteristic. You shouldn't be able to take fights that don't go that well in your favor when you have such a massive lead. And we saw this time again throughout the playoffs for them. It's something that's a recurring thing that will most likely be exploited tomorrow by Immortals, a team that, when they faced off before, the same thing happens. You take one bad fight, they immediately go off and punish. And maybe it's a lack of communication. We hear them during the comms, and honestly, if the only thing that is able to hear his top dive, and it's good and bad.
Right. Yeah, I think it is a big problem because they are such a scrappy team in Immortals where if you just, make a mistake and fight them, then they grab Baron, and they're much better about Baron. Reignover's not going to die to his blue right after getting Baron the way Proxen did this game. So I think that's something that you have to worry about moving forward.
Very much so. Well, let's talk about Envy just briefly, as this will be the conclusion of their season, essentially. Of course, still being able to return in the spring split 2017. We have to remember that this roster, this was their first split, right? Yeah. This is a challenger team that came in, made it into the playoffs, right? Performed in the Scotland, took down, a struggling Team Liquid, but this is still a feat. This is something to be proud of in terms of your first kind of foray into the league scene.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had a great first run for the team. The players are somewhat rookies as well, at least Laud, right? He's never really played on a full split for the LCS. And it's like an occasion that you maybe would commemorate with something like a tattoo or something, but it's still really, really good for them, looking forward to the next split because of the hopes that they came into the start, right? They just said, we want to make it to the playoffs. You made it to the second round of the gauntlet. Even in the first couple of weeks, you're looking like one of the best teams in the league itself. So there's a lot of room for improvement with them.
I think as long as you put that tattoo somewhere that not everyone's going to see it, because you want to save the more visible spaces. Yeah. No, for when you win the finals, right? Yeah, you got to save the prime real estate for when you do win a world championship.
Yeah, to get your face tattoos.
Don't tattoo anything up here until you win a world final. All right, that's our takeaway from today. No, but for Envy, I do think that as an organization should be very proud walking away from this, even in light of the 3-0 here, knowing that in their first split they did put up a fight and they did accomplish quite a bit. We'll see what kind of improvements they make working towards the spring split. Focusing now back on to Cloud9, though, with that final game in the books, we can bestow the award for Player of the Series. And today, the award is going to go to the former world champion in Impact. This dude has been a monster in the postseason.
Yeah, I think he really is just the guy to watch in the postseason. He's won so many matchups against different things, Kassadins, the Kennons, and he gets done against everybody. He's done against Huni, Hanser, he's doing against Seraph. This guy is just beating everybody up.
And if I could change my vote, maybe now I'd be like, I want to put up Impact for best top laner here because he is, and his champion pool is as meta as it gets, which is the cool thing about it. He's playing everything that all the other regions play. He's playing all the matchups properly, and right here you see him 1v2ing great awareness of all his entire kit, because you rarely see Nars truly utilize that hop to maximum effect, and we see him using it during the fights well, during the skirmishes, all-ins, just everywhere.
I think I really like the point you said about him playing the meta stuff. He's always been a little bit of a meta slave. He just likes playing the meta stuff, and he's been on teams before where like tanks for the meta and the team's not very good, which we kind of saw last year with Energy, and it's like we need you to carry, but he just wants to do what's best for the team at all times. And now that what's best for the team is like these kind of bruiser carry only standard lanes, he's able to really maximize his strengths, and he does it in a way that he wants to. It's not like he's being greedy. It's exactly what the team needs.
One, it's an interesting point in that we look at a player like Seraph, and at times we're lauding Seraph for the fact that, hey, look at this guy, how versatile he is in playing things outside of the meta and giving his team opportunities to play, very specific counter picks. But Impact is a player who doesn't need that. As you mentioned, he's very studied in the matchups that are the most persistent in League of Legends. And ultimately, if he can stay within the meta and still perform this way against the picks, against these supposed counter picks from enemy, pocket picks from enemy teams, then I don't know how this guy gets stopped.
Well, the meta is like the rules, right? You got to know them before you break them. You can't just be a completely anti-meta player without having no idea of how it actually works. So maybe this will allow him to grow as a player and be able to play even more of those weird picks. I mean, personally, not a big fan of the Yasuo, but there are other picks out there that can work really well, particularly to surprise opponents.
I like the Yasuo just because it wasn't like a first pick, I want to play Yasuo. It was like there's a lot of stuff focused against him. There's the Echo taken away. A lot banned, a lot taken away. And so he kind of dipped into his pool and be like, nope, this isn't a good strat. I'll still beat you with something else. So I like that he's showing that he's not just, I play the meta stuff, and then if that all gets banned away somehow, I'm trapped. He clearly has other things he's able to play.
All this is made that much more important by the fact that today we talked about how important the top lane matchup would be. If you look ahead to tomorrow, even more so, right? You got Huni versus Impact. This is a crazy top lane matchup that could really, really swing the series. And I want to take a look at our regional qualifier bracket because it's mostly filled, or it is rather filled in. We just don't have our victor yet. But Cloud9 moving on to face Immortals tomorrow. The winner of that series, of course, going on to pick up a final seed at Worlds, and that match will commence following the conclusion of the EU regional qualifier, which takes place tomorrow morning. But if we really zero in on this matchup, both in the top lane and then across the board, I think we're going to see a lot more trading in terms of the matchups of the lanes, for example, than we did today.
I'm super excited for this matchup because it feels like a little bit of an inevitability. Like we felt like we were going to get this on Monday, and now we are. And it's just a little bit of a run back. We've seen Turtle get exposed really hard by the Jhin from Stixxay at Toronto. And so I think like the teams are going to be able to learn from what they saw of each other playing the different matchups at Toronto and bring it into this series.
And one of the things about this matchup, too, is that the amount of play, the caliber of play, and the kind of stakes in this game should be something that is in a big-ass stage, but it's right here, and we get to kind of experience that, and it's so much more intimate for the players where you have a lot more time to just focus on your own strategy. You're not distracted by any outside factor, so the actual quality of play by these guys will most likely remain to what we see them do throughout the regular season.
I don't want to dwell on it too much here because we're going to have plenty of time to break it down tomorrow. I am certain we're going to have a fantastic series. That's going to do it for us here in LA. The IWC qualifier continues live on watch.lolesports.com. So click over to catch Lion taking on Albus Nox Luna for the second wildcard slot at Worlds. Now for myself, the casters, the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Cloud9, they made it yesterday. They have Immortals in their sights, but they need to get through Envy first. At Envy, they already said it's going to be hard work for them. Well, it starts here in game number 1. Now going to proc some damage here. Seraph going to keep running in. Needs a stun, but Seraph flashes over and Impact stands his ground for first blood. Throws a mallet. He's doing so much work. Flashes the Shuriken and outplays for a 1v2 double kill.
Jhin no sums.
Good job. I'm here. This end.
Listen, guys. We just gotta sit back and let Father Morgana carry us.
As Envy's dueling doesn't have enough health. Another binding. Smoothie get the door up, but he's been ignited. That should be enough for a kill. Jaws get flashed out of the way. Smoothie locked up under the turret as Hako turns in the ulti. Seraph gonna get kited back. Ulti's his way to safety. Ninja caught up by the last breath now as Impact gonna dive in. Meteos gets one off the low. Impact goes crazy in the backlines, gets a double. Extra shield there. Seraph gonna get chased down again. Phase out required. Flash in. Impact does he? Oh, he does! First blood there. Ulti's out under the turret. Hey, Meteos gonna dive into the back and see here as Meteos now on a rampage. Ninja eats an arrow. Proxen flashing out with no health left.
No, I'm gonna go.
I'm ulti behind. I got
Varus flash.
Varus ulted me. I'm on Braum.
Braum has no flash. He has no flash.
I'm eating him. Right here.
Meteor tags 2 there with the Umbaro, and Lod now going to get flushed on there by Jensen. That's going to be a kill. Cloud9 going to sweep the series to play Immortals tomorrow in what was one of the best series in the playoffs.